Welcome back to the 2017 edition of Holiday Hoopsgiving. So we have another matchup. Gym number 2. Can't really call one a main gym and call another one an auxiliary gym. We have too many main matchups here in this year's lineup. This next one features Greenforest taking on St. Pius X. Marcus Burnett joined by Lewis Preston as Matt Gonzalo, and St. Pius will start off the first possession. Lewis, we got a good matchup here, contrasting styles. The St. Pius team fresh off of a week where they defeated reigning 5A champ Langston Hughes.
It's going to be a great matchup here. Looking forward to see how St. Pius, how they look to try to move inside out versus Greenforest's size.
Speak of Greenforest, anybody that knows Atlanta area, but also national basketball, they were ranked in the top 25 last year. Obviously have graduated some key pieces, and also have made a coaching change as Larry Thompson has moved on to a position at Wheeler High School, and now Rory Griffin, a more than capable replacement, is trying to get them a Holiday Hoopsgiving win.
St. Pius has done a great job getting out into their full court press. Great time out there by Coach Griffin for Greenforest.
Coach didn't like how things started, and you know, for those that might not be familiar with these programs, Lewis, what nutshell summary would you provide as far as some of the things to look for just off the airport test here early on?
Well, first of all, just looking at St. Pius, you know, they have the great guard play overall, but once again, you know, coming in, being able to put in their full court pressure, they don't care who they come up against. They're sticking to who they're true to. With Greenforest, you know, there's a lot of different changes going on. So early on in the season, they're looking to get that feel for who's the right five to put out there. Also listen to the voice of a new coach. So for both of them, it's taken probably a little bit of time, and a tournament like this gives them a great opportunity to get multiple games to learn more about themselves.
So we are back out of the timeout. 5-0 ball game. Pressure continuing from St. Pius. First shot no good. Rebound going to be cleared out of there by the Golden Lions.
Once again, St. Pius's pressure is causing Greenforest to speed up offensively, and sometimes bad shots offensively, which leads to a 5 seconds right there by St. Pius. They're doing a great job of setting the tone on both ends, offensively and defensively. Defense is definitely being great offense for St. Pius right now.
And then Gonzalo, he is not only their leader in terms of leading by example on the defensive end and just setting the tone, he is probably their best shooter as he knocked down a three, made it 8-0. Gonzalo with it, now he'll go cross court. Extra pass, wide open shooter, and that one clanks, even though you've got to be happy with the movement and the shot there if you're Coach Parr.
It's great movement by St. Pius right now. They're really dominating both ends of the floor. Kind of curious to see now how Greenforest is going to take and adapt to this type of pressure on both ends.
Greenforest just trying to catch their breath right now. Greenforest working it inside, and we're going to have a traveling violation. Going to go there against number 12. That's Ibrahim Jarju.
You know what? Talking to one of the coaches earlier, Coach Ravenel, he had talked about Jarju, very athletic, great size. They can get the ball into him and get some things going early. Might have to make St. Pius change a little bit of their defensive schemes.
Nobody boxes out Willis. He's able to go up and earn a trip to the charity stripe.
Once again, anybody who's sitting in the gym right now or listen to the broadcast and you're watching the broadcast, when you look at St. Pius, they don't necessarily pass that eyeball test of being that type of team that's going to full court pressure you. But what's even more impressive about it, not only are they full court pressing, they're taking it to Greenforest in the paint, even though Greenforest has the size advantage.
They're a team that, and that's why it's, you know, mentioned the whole airport test thing, because you always let the game play it out, but you can assume certain things about a team based on height, based on size, things of that nature. It's just fun to see it play out.
Well, Marcus, you know what they say about assume and making assumptions. I can't say it on the air, but you know what I mean.
Right, from an FCC and a GHSA regulation standpoint, but everybody gets the implication as it is now 13-0 in favor of St. Pius. The Golden Lions coming the other way, putting his head down, too strong on the shot, ball tipped around. Greenforest now trying to start a run of their own.
Great job right there defensively by St. Pius. Basic transition defense 101. First guy gets back, takes the basket. Second guy takes a man. Everybody else balloons out to a different player. Once again, St. Pius's first guard was down, had his head on the rim, stepped in, took a charge.
Still 13-0 as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter.
And Coach Griffin has gone to massive substitutions right here just to try to change up the flow and see if they can get on the board here. St. Pius is doing a great job of just playing fundamental basketball on both ends of the floor and just taking full advantage. They are really imposing their will on Greenforest right now with a 15-0 lead with 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And when you look at it, I mean, it's always tough because, you know, coach, the players have to make the plays on the court, and as a coach, you can only do so much. But what type of things are you telling Greenforest right now as they just try to weather this storm as a coach?
I just think for Greenforest, instead of them trying to beat everybody off the dribble, I think they got to fake a pass to make a pass 10 out of 10 times. A pass is going to move faster than a dribble, and they've got to get some easy buckets or even better, get some fouls. Once again, I think a lot of people take for granted fouls offensively is good offense.
So 15-0 now under the 5-minute mark. Jumper too strong. Rebound going to be brought down by Everett Lane. Stopped along the baseline. They'll kick it out for a three. Splash. Everett Lane with the jumper.
Just very impressive by St. Pius right there. Just did a great job of that hard dribble to the baseline. Once again, when the defense rotates over, usually there's going to be that pass either in the corner up against the opposite wing, which they pass to the opposite wing for the wide open three.
Three courtesy of Everett Lane. Talked about Matt Gonzalo. In addition to having his brother Brian, Everett Lane, definitely a sturdy running mate for this talented team. Runner-up in last year's state title game. Floater along the baseline, no good. A great job of rebounding there by Patrick Snipes.
It's a great job by St. Pius overall. They had all 5 guys around that basket right there to rebound the ball. Very fundamentally sound team on both ends of the floor here to start the game.
Be a foul there as Everett Lane goes down hard.
And once again, it just goes to show you the type of tempo that St. Pius plays with. To me, as a coach, that's a good foul right there because he was going after the basketball, just once again playing harder right now than Greenforest. So see if Greenforest can match this and get their legs up under them and try to get that first basket of the game.
And what makes it so tough is that they not only force you to match just the intensity and the physicality, but you got to match the execution. You know, tactically, you have to be strong. It's not just, you know, it's not just who wants it more. That's the cliche. Everybody says who wants it more. It's not always a case of who wants it more. Sometimes it's who wants it more and who can execute.
Exactly.
You know, I liken it to a guy. They did a tweet, and they said that they were playing on the whole who wants it more scenario, and they had a picture of Randy Moss catching the ball over a guy that played in the league for 15 years, and he said, I can assure you, I wanted that ball more than Randy Moss did in this play. I just didn't have the vertical or the speed or the athleticism that he had. So my wanting it more didn't really do much for me there.
Exactly, and one of the things about St. Pius, if you look at them overall, great job by Greenforest right there stepping in and taking the charge. Maybe that can kind of change a little bit of the momentum for them. But for St. Pius, every single guy that's coming into the game, they know exactly what their role is. They know exactly the energy and the effort that they have to bring in between the lines of the court. And if they don't bring that, they know they're being subbed out right away. And I'm saying that, and they're up 18-0.
3:29 remaining here in the first quarter. 3 from the top of the key, and it's just, they, with all due respect, they have strings in terms of how Greenforest is moving there. Everything is so sped up. You just look there at that last sequence. Everything's so sped up. And meanwhile, a mid-range jumper is knocked down there by Troy Stevens.
Once again, St. Pius is letting their defense speed up Greenforest, which is leading them right to what they're comfortable in offensively. They're doing a great job in transition offense to finding the easy guy and getting the easy shot.
This has to be a Holiday Hoopsgiving record. A 20-0 run to start the game. Greenforest with the board. Brought across by Mitchell Evans.
Just interesting right now by Greenforest. You know, it's not that they're doing things bad offensively, because they've had a couple looks, wide open looks. They haven't been able to knock them down, and then have not been able to get back in transition defense. Once again, it's another wide open shot that's not knocked down in the corner right there by Greenforest.
You know, on top of that, St. Pius has not really given them room in terms of, you know, maybe having a mishap or something that the team can kind of capitalize on. They are rolling right now.
Exactly. In the infamous words of Coach Ed DeChellis, who's now at the Naval Academy, St. Pius is cooking with gas.
Certainly. And with no signs of letting up.
And once again, with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter, I'm interested to see, you know, what Coach Griffin from Greenforest is going to be able to do in regards to matching this intensity. Maybe get inside and power up to the basket there and just use their girth and their size to their advantage here.
Gonzalo on the drive now. He'll kick it out. Corner 3 on the way. Bottom. Number 24, Christian Matai.
And once again, I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times, Marcus. Sometimes you can be simple and plain like vanilla ice cream and still be very, very good.
St. Pius X, the epitome of that right now, as they have used their pressure defense and movement on offense to jump out to a 23-0 advantage here early on. This could break the seal. Does not. Jumpers off the mark for Greenforest. They'll get another crack at it. 2 for a $1 sale on threes, and that one rattles in. Dylan Pritchett.
But you know what? That ball went inside, back out. Dylan was able to step in 1-2 right into the three-point shot, and I'm glad to see Greenforest get on the board.
Now it's just going to take a continual wearing down, continuing to take care of the basketball. And also a couple plays like that would help. The blocks made on one end, trying to convert on the other. Kicks off the back of the hill, and St. Pius gets it back. Here's Willis. Willis met with resistance. Cookies taken away. Here comes Greenforest. Cam Chavers, layup drill.
Great job right there by Greenforest, but earlier should have probably passed that ball ahead and gotten that ball back for a layup.
Now down by 18.
And once again right there, St. Pius is doing a great job. For all the coaches out there, I don't care what anybody says, once that ball gets into the paint, there is no such thing as any type of other defense except for man-to-man, because you're in full help and recover. I don't care if you're Coach K or Coach Roy Williams or Coach Calipari.
Trip to the free throw line will be coming here for number 14 and Troy Stevens.
I tell you, when you look at St. Pius right now, all their players out there huffing and puffing and got their hands on their waist. They are not bent over. They are not letting the defense know that they're tired. They're just talking about, we're coming back at you once again.
That they are, and it's just You know, you can see it's always interesting to see the different conditioning programs and what teams do to not only be in good shape in general, but to also play their style of basketball. St. Pius is showing that they are in great shape.
It's a great call by the referee right there.
25-5.
That right there, from an offensive standpoint, when you throw it to the big fella right there in the middle, you need to have somebody at the sideline to pass it ahead, not wait for the guard to get back over half court.
20-point lead as we are under the final 20 seconds of the first quarter. Matt Gonzalo with it out top.
Greenforest had to go to zone to try to see if they could slow them down in some way, shape, or form. Just can't give them a wide open three here to end up. And right when I say that, what happens? Wide open three from the corner.
From Everett Lane. So that is going to do it for the first quarter, one that has St. Pius at the golden line. Ball prints all over.
One of the things I have to say, one of the most impressive quarters I've seen of high school ball so far this year. Tip my hat right there to St. Pius. I'm very curious to see how Greenforest is going to take and come back here in the second quarter, see if they can impose any of their will.
Be back after the break.
The 2017 Holiday Hoopsgiving is brought to you by Adidas, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Stat Row, Atlanta Tip-Off Club, and CBA Sports. Welcome back to Holiday Hoopsgiving as we have gotten the second quarter underway, a matchup that has found St. Pius X up 28-5 here as we go into the second quarter. Marcus Burnett joined by Lewis Preston. Stop on one end, Gonzalo, the speedster, fouled and will go to the line to shoot two.
Once again, Mark, as I said it earlier, it's not that Greenforest is playing bad basketball. It is just St. Pius is just on a whole different level right now. And on both ends of the floor, even when they make a mistake, they let their defense make up for it, and now they're at the line shooting two.
You know, I likened them to back when I was growing up, and Steve Spurrier was the head coach of the Florida Gators, and back in the Danny Warfel days, and back when they would just air it out, and they'd be up 40. And he'd still be running fly routes and just, hey, run the score up. That, you know, keep the foot on the gas. And I like that about St. Pius X. That's exactly what they're doing right now.
Hey, Marcus, you know we are in Georgia, right?
We are.
So I'm very careful about mentioning the Gators, although I worked there for a couple years. Got a couple championship rings out of it.
Yeah, that is a good point. So hopefully not too many UGA fans are watching. And in lieu of that, I'm a Purdue fan, so they should feel a little bit of empathy for me and not go too hard on me.
Okay, ball up.
30-5. Cup is boiling over and overflowing for St. Pius right now. They are up 25, had a 20-0 run to start this contest and have it look back. Here's Gonzalo. Gonzalo weaving under and in one, no call, took one across the face and still finished.
It's very interesting right here because what St. Pius attempts been in, they've been into that dribble drive. They've been able to take and get the ball into the paint, get easy layups, make the extra pass for a wide open shot, and then they get right back in their defense right away. Greenforest hadn't been able to handle it at all.
Gonzalo on the drive there. Score now 32-5.
Got the one-on-one coming up right here. But once again, That's a great job by Matt Gonzalo of just attacking off the dribble, making them get the hand check, understanding, you know, time and score in the situation right there to get a one-on-one, to get a one-on-one. Gets 1 or 2 right there. Greenforest bringing it back up the floor right now.
Trying to work it inside to the big fella. Got to push in the back.
This refereeing crew right here is a little bit serious. I got to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's tonight.
They have brought it. They're dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Definitely doing that. That's a nice baseline out of bounds play right there for Simmons for that fadeaway jump shot there in the corner. 33-7 right now. Greenforest with that steal, pushing the ball up the floor. Wasn't able to take. 6:24 to go here in the second quarter. Good hands right there overall by Greenforest. Greenforest is applying a little bit of pressure of their own right here in the second quarter. And with that, being able to go through multiple substitutions to try to change some momentum some way here to see if they can get back into this game.
Yeah, you know, Rory Griffin is definitely going to coach him up.
St. Pius coach is not very happy, had to use a timeout right there to make sure that he gets his team set up right versus Greenforest's pressure on this full court baseline out of bounds play.
Timeout on the floor. We're going to take a timeout with them, see if we can take care of these technical difficulties. We'll get the picture back shortly. We'll be back with more Holiday Hoopsgiving here on SUV TV.
See if they can take advantage of this here on the defense, on the offensive end. Georgiou from the corner.
Appreciate it, everybody. We've gotten the picture back up. Sorry for any technical difficulties here. But St. Pius, Greenforest still in play. St. Pius still ahead in this one, but Greenforest making it more interesting. Bang, bang play, and one hoop and the horn.
Oh, they actually called the charge right there.
Wow. Thought he signaled the and one there.
It's early for the referees too here.
So stepping up and getting the charge and the possession.
Greenforest has done a much better job defensively here in the second quarter. I just think they put themselves in so much of a hole from that first quarter. Be curious to see how they can get it out. Not to try to get it all at once, but one possession at a time.
This can be a very daunting task.
Especially
in terms of having that composure, that type of composure.
Especially when you have a very good fundamental team that really knows how to play the game like St. Pius X does.
And so many times when you see a team go up big, if there's a comeback attempt, there's some sort of doldrums that the team that's up goes through that makes it easier for them to come back. With St. Pius, you just see that being such a tough concept.
Right. It's a great job right there by St. Pius X. Get the ball out in transition. Great job right there with using a shot fake and powering up off two to get the easy layup. Good job right there by Greenforest getting the ball over there to the corner. And number 10 for Greenforest, Dylan Pritchard driving to the lane for that little short hook shot. I'm telling you this, Marcus, this kid right here, Matt Gonzalo, has done a great job of taking and getting his defender on his hip and being able to get by him and get into the paint, either getting a layup, getting a foul, or getting an and one. Now he's at the free throw line shooting 2.
Just such a good shooter, a heady kid, plays hard, and also just has a first step that I think a lot of people sleep on with his ability to shoot the ball and trying to play him tight there.
I'm not going to give that stereotype of a deceptive athlete, right?
Right.
He's just a player,
Right,
just a ball
exactly.
player.
Can't get the second free throw to go. Score now 38-12.
That's not a good shot right there by Greenforest. They didn't have numbers back, didn't have anybody to offensive rebound right there. Now St. Pius is back. Just really active on both ends of the floor here. Right now, we got a bunch of activity going on here. Greenforest with the turnover. St. Pius has the ball. They made the changed the call. Greenforest ball.
All right, Coach, how we doing?
Sly, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Sly, the sports guy, jumping in for a little while.
Doing a little microphone check. I see you.
Here we go, jumper off the backboard.
Once again, Greenforest is getting good things offensively. They haven't been able to knock down shots. But with that being said, St. Pius is gang rebounding 3, 4, 5 guys around the ball, and then they've been able to push offensively and get whatever they want in transition or out of their half-court sets.
Sounds like a St. Pius team. That's what they do, huh?
You are who you are.
St. Pius seems to be shooting well from the outside. Looking at these stats, St. Pius X over the defending 1A private state champion Greenforest. Rebuilding year for the Eagles. Free throw line, hard off the front of the iron, fought for and pushed up court.
Another charge by St. Pius. Great job of stepping in to take that charge right there. Once again, probably overcommitted on the dribble right there. Probably should have given that ball up a little bit earlier. It's been very interesting with Greenforest. Both teams have been a little bit turnover prone here in the second quarter. But once again, it's also helped St. Pius to maintain that 28-point lead that they have here at 40-12. It's been very interesting just to see. Greenforest has done a great job of getting into the paint overall. Just haven't been able to finish. Greenforest with the ball underneath. See if they can run another one of their good baseline out of bounds plays and get another open shot. They just take and get it in this time. Jalen Clark with that drive right there ends up getting the foul. He's going to be on the free throw line shooting 2.
Free throw line. Talk about something that they can use if you're Greenforest. Not only the chance to get free points without 2 to 3 scrappy St. Pius defenders in your face, but also stop that clock as well.
And also to catch your breath.
All right.
St. Pius X has done a great job of just imposing their will, keeping everything very simple and plain. then more importantly, being able to make the extra pass and keeping it simple to build their lead up to 26 points.
Snipes hangs in the air. Good body control by Snipes on the finish.
Great passing by St. Pius X right there versus the pressure. Getting the ball into the paint, being able to get it easy too.
The score 42-14.
Okay, Jalen Clark stepping up right there with that long range three.
Touch pass, now they'll get it across.
Although it was a turnover right there, Marcus, one of the main differences when you look at this game right now with the score of 42-17 versus Greenforest pressure, St. Pius X is doing a great job of making the pass, making the easy pass over the top, leading into easy baskets. To where Greenforest versus St. Pius's pressure, they're trying to dribble through, causing some turnovers, and then giving, once again, same thing here, which once again gives St. Pius an easy layup for a 44-17 lead.
St. Pius trying to make things as hard as possible for Greenforest, and it's leading to easy buckets as a result. Able to find a wide open Robinson Okiki for the layup. That'll make it 44-19. Coming up on the minute 20 mark.
Not necessarily the best of shots right there by St. Pius X. Greenforest gets the ball, pushing it down in transition. Oh, Clark pulled up long again. Heat check. The oven been turned off.
Like how he's not afraid to, kind of embrace the, I won't say the scoring load, but kind of provide whatever stimulus he can.
Well, he has to do something because they need some type of activity on the offensive end if they have any chance of getting back into this game. Right now, St. Pius in their late quarter offense, little dribble handoff into a drive, dump down, layup.
To make it a 46-19 lead. I mean, just such an efficient offense. The ball doesn't stick, like you mentioned. It's not about, one-on-one or really trying to beat your man off the dribble so much as it is moving the ball and being able to set yourself up to score.
It's really beautiful to watch and everything. And, from a high school perspective, and then if I'm a college coach sitting in the stands watching right now, there's a few names I'm jotting down just because those are some of the things you don't have time to necessarily coach when you get to the college level. But, these young men being able to already have that into their arsenal puts them ahead of the game.
And this St. Pius X group was one of the schools that participated in that Norcross grind session that Coach Jesse McMillan and those guys set up over there, to where they minimize the team camps and playing in team camp games, and they really focus on kind of like a collaborative setting where players can really work on skills, drills, and specific parts of the game. And St. Pius X is putting a lot of those elements into play here in this one.
Wow, the young man right there for St. Pius did a great job of getting the steal right there. Not necessarily, for me, coaching basketball one-on-one with the between the legs, but he was able to get by and got fouled shooting two here with 3 seconds or 2.8 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Adrenaline still running strong there. He
and
shot
then
that last
some.
one hard.
I don't have brick on my house, but if I did, that would help.
There we go. Tapers it down just a little bit, and that will do it. The first half is in the books, and St. Pius X has put their John Hancock right next to it. We'll see what Greenforest responds with out of the halftime intermission.
play-by-play.
Second half action just underway. Dwayne Walker along with my man Louis. St. Pius with control of the basketball and a 47-19 lead. Lewis, you got to admit, man, this is a big surprise. Greenforest being the big favorite coming into tonight's ballgame.
Well, you know what? I think St. Pius X did a great job just imposing their will that first half, caused Greenforest into 13 turnovers, and St. Pius being able to get 10 assists out of that just tells you the easy baskets their defense generated their offense.
That last personal foul went to Greenforest's number 4, Kai Cook. That is his second personal foul. First team foul of the second half. Number 23 at the free throw line for St. Pius, Kennedy Willis. His second attempt is good. 48-19 the score with 7:45 to play. Third quarter. Greenforest attempts to advance the basketball. It's deflected out of bounds. The basketball will go to Greenforest.
Seems like St. Pius has done the exact same thing that they started the game with, letting their pressure speed Greenforest up.
On that play right there, Jalen Clark, number 2, a little out of control, and he's called with the offensive foul. Second team foul this half.
Once again, St. Pius's defense calls an easy offense for him.
And there's an easy basket by number 23. That's Kennedy Willis. Back the other way comes Greenforest, and there's going to be a foul going up. Assess that foul to number 3 for St. Pius, Everett Lane.
I'm not sure necessarily that was a foul on Lane right there. Once again, I thought the referees bailed out and rewarded a bad basketball play, driving 1 against 3.
Well, it looked like number 10, Dylan Pritchett, may have gotten flicked at the apex. So he'll step to the free throw line. First attempt on the way, and it's good. 50-20. So now a 30-point advantage by St. Pius. Second attempt on the way by Dylan Pritchett. Off the rim, no good, and it's out of bounds. It'll be controlled by same way. Off St. Pius, it'll be Greenforest basketball. 7 minutes, 3 seconds to play, third quarter. D&L, Dwayne and Lewis with you, bringing the action from Hoopsgiving Holiday Tournament.
Once again, St. Pius getting their hands on balls here, although it's Greenforest's ball. St. Pius X just continues to be very active on the defensive end, which has led, once again, to easy offense for them.
Man-to-man defense by St. Pius with the spin move, airmail. Christian Jackson way off on that. Up with the rebound, and back the other way comes St. Pius. Now steal. Up goes Clark. No good, but he's bumped on the way up.
Clark did a great job right there using his body as another defender right there, created the contact, and was able to get the foul. Now he's shooting 2.
Jalen Clark went strong to the lane. He was actually fouled by number 3, Everett Lane. And for Everett Lane, that is his second personal foul. Jalen Clark at the free throw line. He was 2 of 2 in the first half. That first attempt is on the way and good. 50-21. Greenforest trying to chisel away at once was a 30-plus lead by St. Pius. Second attempt on the way is good. He's perfect from the line tonight. 4 of 4 thus far for Jalen Clark. Back the other way comes St. Pius. 50-22 our score. 6:29 and ticking to play. Corner jumper, no good. Rebounded by Clark. Here comes Greenforest, trying to find a little bit of momentum. He's working against Brian Gonzalo. They'll swing it around. Clark with it, holding high. To the basket. Up, airmail. No good there by Kai Cook. Going up that way. Oh, they're going to call, what's the call there? Christian Jackson went up.
Called the charge.
Offensive foul, charge on that play. So Lewis, quick question for you. Who do you think this early momentum is going to? I mean, Greenforest has cut into that 47-19 halftime deficit.
I think right now it's pretty much even. I'd like to see right there just a one hard dribble pull up for a short J off the glass as opposed to trying to get into the paint. And that'll come with time and getting back in the gym.
All right, St. Pius with the lead and the basketball with 5:41 to play. 50-22 our score. St. Pius working the basketball around. Christian Jackson almost came up with the steal there. They'll work the basketball around. Troy Stevens, in and out. Cleared out of there. Up and good. Kennedy Willis with the basket.
St. Pius continues, once the ball goes up, they're sending their 3, 4, and 5 man to the glass every single time, and it's paid off huge dividends for them.
Kennedy Willis has 10 points, 52-22, now a 30-point advantage. And what's the call there?
Travel.
Traveling violation, a turnover by Greenforest.
Once again, St. Pius moving on the flight of the ball, really understanding ball man principles, and have caused Greenforest into a lot of turnovers.
Greenforest had 13 first half turnovers, 13, and a couple more so far this half. All right, here comes St. Pius working their offense, a little weave action, if you will. They'll try to get it inside to Kennedy Willis. Back door is closed. Back the other way comes Clark for Greenforest.
They didn't score right there, but that was beautiful action.
Up and no good. Greenforest forcing the action is number 00, Lorenzo Bardieri. Made a strong move to the basket, but he was bumped on the play.
Bumped right there by number 13, Snipes. Snipes made a great backdoor pass right there. Lane wasn't able to finish that. Once again, give Greenforest credit for getting out there in transition, and now at the free throw line shooting too.
Bardiardi, who only played a couple of minutes in the first half of play, gets his first trek to the free throw line, and he converts on his first attempt. 52-23 the score. St. Pius in control, 4:41 to play, third quarter action. D&L, Dwayne and Lewis bringing the action from the Hoopsgiving tournament. 52-24 after the two made baskets by Lorenzo Bardieri. Here comes St. Pius. They work the basketball around. There's a three-point attempt. It's no good as Matthew Gonzalo couldn't get it to fall. In control of the basketball, Kai Cook. Ooh, little crossover move in the lane. Puts it up, no good, but may have gotten bailed out on a block.
Right there, that would have been a great opportunity to dump it down right there to number 5, Okiki, and he probably could have gone up strong to the basket, but either way, shooting 2 shots.
Patrick Snipes assessed that personal foul on the block, so 2 shots forthcoming. Kai Cook hits the first attempt. He'll receive another.
Once again, I got to take and give St. Pius, give Greenforest credit. They continue to play hard, even though they're down 27 right now. So once again, they're not paying attention to the clock and the score. They're going to stay true to who they are. Knocks down the second one.
Nice job there by Kai Cook. So he converts both free throws, 52-26. Greenforest is doubled up right now, but back the other way comes St. Pius. That attempt no good there by number 10, Finn McCurdy. Here comes Clark. Tricky dribble, pull up J. No good. Cleared out of there by number 5 for St. Pius, Nico Broadway. Here comes Broadway right down Main Street, and it's a basket converted there by number 13, Patrick Snipes.
Once again, his head was up on the dribble, was able to see the open man, got Snipes open. Snipes comes back defensively with the block.
Here comes Matthew Gonzalo, number 1. He'll find an open man in the corner. That's number 3, Everett Lane. Can't get that to fall. The basketball ricochets out of bounds, and it will go to Greenforest. Substitutions for Greenforest. Number 1, Cam Chavers will check into the ball game. As well as number 12, Ibram Jarju. Jarju needs to come to that basketball, almost turned the basketball over.
Just great defense right there by St. Pius, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to sprint back and get to the line or beneath the line of the ball.
Here comes Greenforest. They work the basketball around. Jimmy is good. A 2-point basket there by Cam Chavers. Chavers was 1 of 7 from the field in the first half, but he converts there. Make it 2 of 8. 3-point attempt, bullseye. Number 3, Everett Lane, you can't leave him open.
Great extra pass right there. Greenforest gambled right there and pressure. Ended up paying the price with a wide open 3. Great back tip.
Here comes Everett Lane, looks for the open man, but that's an errant pass out of bounds, and the basketball will return back to Greenforest.
I'll tell you this right now. The St. Pius team might be the most in-shape team that I've seen ever in a November.
Wow. Substitutions for Greenforest, number 13, Mitchell Evans into the ball game, as well as number 00, Lorenzo Bardieri. 3-point basket is good. That's number 24, Christian Matei. Let's see if we get a timeout, full timeout being called by Greenforest. There's a timeout on the floor with 6 minutes and 28 seconds to play. 2 minutes and 39 seconds to play. 60-28 our score. St. Pius in control.
The 2017 Holiday Hoopsgiving is brought to you by Adidas, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Stat Row, Atlanta Tip-Off Club, and CBA Sports.
Easy shots to fall down for them. Then St. Pius is coming back down to the offensive end and staying true to who they've been throughout the course of this game, and that's the reason why they have the 32-point lead.
So we'll see how Greenforest can respond. I'm sure a lot of people that are half the crowd inside the gym B here on the campus of Holy Innocents, Thanksgiving holiday tournament.
And once again, we had talked about before, this was a rebuilding forward, but once again, both teams are playing hard here in the third quarter, which says a lot about the culture of both of their programs.
All right, on the inbounds, Greenforest have it. Token pressure by St. Pius, but Greenforest gets the ball over. Strong to the basket, reverse layup is no good. Attempt there by Bardieri. Greenforest controls the offensive rebound. They'll restack the deck. Cook driving, and the basketball goes out of bounds. It'll be St. Pius basketball. We mentioned earlier the 13 first half turnovers by Greenforest. It has thwarted their attempt to get back in the ball game. There's another unforced one there.
Once again, probably trying to drive between too many players right there. Sometimes you got to just make the simple pass and just keep moving the ball from side to side to create those driving angles.
Coach Rory Griffin picking up the defensive pressure now. St. Pius are trying to get into their offense. To the basket goes Kenley Willis, but he's going to be called a hand check. They're going to call that bump out there. Not sure who they gave that foul to.
They gave that to number 12, Georgiou, right there. But for Willis right there, that's kind of, looking at his body type, it's kind of, you've seen the evolution in regards to the college game as well as the NBA game. Your tall guys got to be able to handle the rock, make decisions, and still be able to knock down outside shots as well as score in the paint.
St. Pius has not been exempt from turnovers either. They committed 12 first half turnovers and an unforced error right there. Here comes Greenforest back the other way. Georgiou goes up. Can't get it to fall. Here comes St. Pius, and there's an obvious bump there by number 0, Lorenzo Bardieri. And for him, that's foul number 2. 1:39 to play, 60-28 our score. You're watching Hoopsgiving Holiday Tournament on SUV-TV. There's a foul going up as number 10, Finn McCurdy, went strong to the bucket.
See the coach for St. Pius give that little wry smile right there. I think he knows that his player got away with one. Referee and rewarding a bad basketball play, dribbling out of control.
That foul went to number 12, Ibrahim Georgiou. At the free throw line, that's number 10, Finn McCurdy. Capitalizes on the first attempt. Here comes the second. It's up and it's good. 62-28 our score with 1:35 to play. Third quarter action. Substitution for St. Pius is number 24, Christian Matai, checks out of the ball game. In comes number 2, Brian Gonzalo. There's a long pass. Oh, another turnover by Greenforest.
Once again, St. Pius kind of baited Greenforest into that. Knew how that was going to play out the entire time.
Driving to the basket, that's number 5, Nico Broadway. Offensive. Greenforest will have the basketball now. Zion Simmons is asking everyone to clear it out. Down comes Jarju, reverse layup, can't get the roll. And that basketball deflects off of St. Pius. So Greenforest will retain possession.
Actually, that ball was out on the Greenforest player, but once again, with a score being a 34-point lead, I don't think that really makes any difference.
Mitchell Evans inbounds the basketball. Cook shoots an air ball, but
called for a charge right there.
Wow.
Gonzalo stepped in, or Brian Gonzalo stepped in and took that charge right there.
So for Kai Cook, he will head to the bench with his second personal foul. Now the referees will come in and do some house cleaning and dry up a wet spot on the basketball court. There's a minute and 6 seconds to play third quarter. 62-28, St. Pius with the lead and the basketball. Nice little tricky dribble there by St. Pius.
Matt Gonzalo has that ball on a string, and then he does a great job. Cross-court, wide-open pass for the wide-open 3 right there for Jack Cobb.
Jack Cobb converts 65-28 with under a minute to play, and that basketball will remain with Greenforest.
But let me tell you what's the most impressive thing about St. Pius. So Cobb knocks down that 3. So instead of celebrating, he sprints back, and he's the one that gets the deflection out of bounds.
Ooh, wow, that's over and back. That basketball was touched in the forecourt, then taken back in the backcourt. All right, so Greenforest, they get a gimme right there. Jarju turnaround jumper, can't get it to fall. Cleared out of there by Brian Gonzalo. And now who'll hold it for Matthew Gonzalo? I'm surmising those two are brothers.
You're surmising correctly.
Gonzalo tried to find number 23, Kenny Willis inside, to no avail. But back the other way goes Clark, but he couldn't get the basketball to fall. But there is contact, and we'll have 2 attempts forthcoming.
Jalen Clark did a great job of being very aggressive right there on the drive. And once again, the defender for St. Pius was not able to step up and take the charge in time. Now he's shooting 2.
Finn McCurdy, that foul charged to him. So at the free throw line will be number 2, Jalen Clark. Clark is 4 for 4 from the free throw line this afternoon. Make that 5 for 5. And the score now 65-29 with 15.9 seconds to play in the third quarter.
No, Jalen Clark has not shot the ball very well from the floor, but he has definitely been a positive for Greenforest with his activity defensively and continuing to force the pressure offensively.
Second attempt is good with 15 seconds to play. 65-30. 35-point Bulls by St. Pius. They have the basketball. They'll hold for the last shot. 7, 6, 3 to the basket. Get that out. That ball is blocked out of bounds with 1.3 seconds to play in the third quarter. So St. Pius, they have enough time to get a shot off.
Very curious to see what Coach has drawn up right here on this baseline out of bounds.
Matthew Gonzalo gets it inside to Willis. That was a long 1.3 seconds. They're going to count that bucket and credit the hoop to Kennedy Willis, number 23, but that was kind of a long 1.3 seconds if you ask me.
But once again, at the same time, basketball 201. Never supposed to take and throw the ball and get a wide open drive right there that late in the clock.
All right, so at the conclusion of 3 quarters, our score, St. Pius 67, Greenforest 30. Let's take time out. You're watching the Hoopsgiving Holiday Tournament only on SUV TV.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
The 2017 Holiday Hoopsgiving is brought to you by Adidas, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Stat Row, Atlanta Tip-Off Club, and CBA Sports.
Once again, we are back here to start the fourth quarter with the score 67-30 for St. Pius. In fact, the fourth quarter is a 6-minute instead of your typical 8-minute quarter due to the score of the game. Going to be very curious to see how Greenforest here in this fourth quarter, with them having the ball to start the fourth quarter, how they can get some things going on here offensively and to build off hopefully for their next game.
All right, so Greenforest had the basketball to begin the final stanza, but St. Pius comes up with a turnover. Matthew Gonzalo working that offense. He'll pull up from three off the back rim. Rebound offensively by number 13, Patrick Snipes, but Greenforest will come up with steal. They come the other way, and that's a personal foul.
Once again, great activity right there by St. Pius to get the deflection. Then once again, great job by Greenforest to get the deflection, start the break, and was able to get the foul.
That foul assessed to number 25, Ben Burnett. And for Ben Burnett, that is his first foul of the ballgame. Number 25 at the free throw line, Zion Simmons. That attempt is good. He will receive another.
And Zion Simmons, the nephew of Paul Millsap, who's sitting in the stands here, enjoying some of the holiday Hoopsgiving basketball tournament, coming here to support family. And that's what the holiday's all about.
Good to see. Simmons converts on that second attempt, and they're going to call traveling violation. So it'll be Greenforest basketball. 67-32 our score. Fourth quarter action, 5:28 to play here at Holy Innocents.
I mean, the score is not indicative, but the second half's been a little bit sloppier than it was in the first half. But once again, St. Pius's pressure is forcing Greenforest to take some quick shots, as well as them being down 35.
Well, Greenforest had a trifecta of opportunities at three-pointers, and on that third attempt there, Jalen Clark actually got the basketball to fall. 67-35 with precisely 5 minutes to play in the game in regulation.
Once again, Jalen Clark over there with the ball.
Stolen
Very
away.
active.
Clark to the basket, uses his body to draw contact.
That's the second time we've seen him do that in this game, driving to the basket. Maybe he should have given that ball up, but once again, he's done such a great job on the defensive end, getting his hands on balls, taking advantage. Now he's shooting two.
Patrick Snipes assessed that personal foul, so Clark, who's been perfect from the free throw line, attempts, oh, and I must have jinxed him. He was 6 for 6 until that attempt, now made that 6 of 7.
See if he can step up here and knock down this second shot so Greenforest can get into their full court pressure.
Jack Taub, number 11, checks in for St. Pius as number 2, Jalen Clark awaits his second attempt. He puts it up, short-rimmed it, but offensive rebound by Greenforest. Here comes St. Pius. Ooh, may have gotten away with the travel. No, he didn't. They called that foul. I'm sorry, that traveling violation, excuse me.
Very interesting right there with how Greenforest ran at him and was able to get that turnover. So curious to see how they can take and make up with this offensively.
4 minutes and 39 seconds to play, 67-35 the score. Greenforest still with the basketball. They'll move it around the perimeter. There's Clark with an open look, bullseye! Three-point basket, it's 67-38.
Jalen Clark has probably been the one bright spot here for Greenforest. Love his energy and activity on both ends, and seeing him getting rewarded for it.
Greenforest attempting to pick up the defensive pressure as number 22 for St. Pius, Shamar Etienne, was attacked on that play. 4:14 to play, side out by St. Pius as they get the basketball in. Shamar looks inside, can't find anyone. Now they'll kick into the corner, three-point attempt, off rim, no good. That was Steven Saramer with that attempt. Here's Clark, bang!
Jalen Clark has been one incredible highlight reel for Greenforest here.
67 to 41. There's Clark again. No, sir, but he gave chase, almost got his own offensive rebound.
He was heat check. He was in heat check mode.
Shamar back the other way. He'll stop, gets the basketball blocked there. Nice job on that block. Boyd tried to get the offensive rebound, but St. Pius comes up with the rebound. Shamar, number 22 with the basketball. Working against Anthony Boyd, number 3, and they're going to call timeout as St. Pius feeling the heat.
That was a great timeout right there. Coach was very close. The team was very close to getting a 10-second call right there.
Not only that, the ebb and flow is sort of shifting Greenforest's way, despite the fact they're down by 26 points with just 3:15 to play.
You know what? It's been very good to see that Greenforest has not stopped playing, that they're continuing to play hard. And as you see in this fourth quarter, they're being rewarded for that activity. These are some things as coaches that we look to build off of. Once again, it's not going to be the outcome that they were looking for here this afternoon, but there's some good things that they can look to build off of, especially with number 2, Jalen Clark.
And Coach Lewis, are you especially looking at how guys respond to this type of adversity, being down 26 points? What's your attitude? Do you drag down the court? Do you give 100% effort? So you can tell a lot from your team as you're trying to build your identity.
Well, one of the main things I've always said, you learn more about your team in adversity than you ever do in prosperity.
Nice. All right, so we have a host of substitutions in for Greenforest. We'll try to fill you in as quickly as we can. Number 32, Darion Moyer, checks into the ball game for Greenforest. Clark has it, an open look, money. 67-44, it's a 23-point game with 2:46. So Greenforest attempting to chisel away at the St. Pius lead.
Jalen Clark's trying to become the third Splash brother to try to join Steph Curry and Klay Thompson out in Golden State with the way that he's shooting that 3 in the second half.
After struggling in the first half, going 1 for 8, he's really turned it up in the second half of play. Short Jimmy there by number 25 for St. Pius, Ben Burnett. And that basket will give St. Pius a 25-point lead with 2:24 to play.
Once again, I'm a big fan of the stat for deflections, and I would easily say that St. Pius has anywhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 deflections so far in this game.
All right, so Greenforest, there's that guy again. Little off center on that attempt.
He's
St. Pius, let's see, Coach, if they'll try to burn clock here. Is that what you're trying to do here, or do you still attack and play attack mode basketball, as they do right there?
I don't think so, because if you look at St. Pius's, there are 5 out here right now. These are the guys that don't necessarily get a lot of playing time. And this, once again, shows you the culture of St. Pius, the fact that they can bring in their 10 through whichever number they're 15, and those guys are still playing as hard as the starting 5.
Riley Costas scored that last field goal for St. Pius, but we have a foul on the other end, and there goes that guy again. Clark, Jalen Clark, number 2. He's only missed 2 free throws tonight. He's 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Has made a trio of 3-point baskets in the second half. That attempt on the way is good. 1-1 situation for Greenforest. That makes the score 71-45. 1 minute and 50 seconds to play in regulation.
Once again, some good things here in the fourth quarter for Coach Roy Griffin to build off of here for Greenforest and get prepared for their next game.
Second attempt is on the way, and it is good. So make it 8 for 10 tonight for Clark. Here comes St. Pius. They're content. Oh, turnover. Boyd comes up with it, and he throws a pass. Oh, I thought Paul Millsap was going to grab that basketball. The former Atlanta Hawk and Denver Nuggets sitting in the second row of the stands here tonight.
He's just protecting that wrist right now.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
I would have done the same thing.
1:37 left. They're going to clear things out as Shamar will work against Boyd, number 3. They'll call that block right there. Bonus situation for St. Pius. They will step to the free throw line.
Once again, in a situation right there, I just think you just need to get arm's length off of them. Just force them away a certain way. You know, most point guards are right-handed, so you want to look to force them to the left, right? And then let that right there dictate to the rest of the guys defensively to get up and pass the lanes and look to get a deflection or steal.
Shamar can't get the front part of the bonus to go down, but St. Pius gets the offensive rebound. They put it up and in. Number 11, Jack Taub, converts the basket. 73-46 with 1:17 to play. Boyd has the basketball, may try to get away from the corner there. He'll dump it down inside. Up and in goes number 21 on that play. Robinson O'Keefe.
It's a good finish right there, but a young big man going over his shoulder for that hook shot.
73-48, under a minute to play now. Taub, Jack Taub with the basketball. Now he'll give it up. And now it seems as though St. Pius will attempt to burn out the rest of this clock. Almost a turnover. Yes, it was. So you don't, Coach, you want to finish strong, though. You don't really don't want to see any sloppy errors. You want to finish strong.
And also at the same time, you know what, this would be a great opportunity for St. Pius to build on some things as well.
That basketball stolen away. Now up goes number 30, Riley Costas, and he gets accosted by number 3, Anthony Boyd. And for Boyd, that's his first personal.
Just once again, really been impressed with what St. Pius has been able to do on both ends of the floor here in this game versus Greenforest this afternoon.
Riley Costas at the free throw line, 73-48 our score, 39.5 seconds to play. That last basket by Greenforest, correction on that, that was actually scored by Gerald Jones, number 21, the 6'7" center. All right, so 73-48 after the missed free throw, 33 and ticking. Greenforest, that's Moyer from the corner, can't get that to fall. Loose ball, we're gonna stay right here. And it's a shooting situation. Let's see if we're in the double bonus. That foul assessed to St. Pius is number 35, Philip Okafor. I believe we're in the double bonus. It should be 2 free throw attempts forthcoming for number 21. Gerald Jones, he's just a freshman. Correction, sophomore. I should know that. My own daughter's in the graduating class of 2020, and she's a sophomore. I guess that would make him a sophomore as well.
That's exactly what it would make. Mine's in 2021.
Wow. What can I say? Math was never my strong suit.
Except for my checkbook.
Second attempt is good. 73-49 the score. Less than 25 seconds to play. Costas, he dealt it over to number 25, Ben Burnett, who has the ball deflected out of bounds. Actually give a block to Gerald Jones, the 6'7" sophomore.
I want to make a coaching point right here. A lot of people who might be watching this on SUV TV and sitting in the stands is probably wondering why St. Pius is still playing and looking towards scoring and things of that nature. That's just part of the culture of their program. It's nothing against Greenforest, and they're not trying to run the score up. This is a great opportunity for some guys that don't get a lot of playing time to keep the continuity offensively and defensively and staying true to who they are.
Costas, that attempt is no good. Front of the 1-and-1. 10 seconds to play. Let's see if Greenforest will try to get a shot up. I'm sure they will. Clark with the basketball. 6. Oh, wow. Long range jumper is good. How about that?
Splash.
73-52 is the final after the 3-point basket by Jalen Clark. So there you have it. Coach, St. Pius, they bursted out to a 20-0 lead to begin the ball game, and they end up winning by 19, 73. I'm sorry, make that 21. I did say math wasn't my strong suit. 73-52 the final as both teams meet at half court and congratulate one another. What were your impressions as we get out of here of tonight's performances by both teams, Bill?
First of all, I just got to give credit to St. Pius. Once again, they let their defense dictate their offense. Was able to get some easy baskets early, and then they were able to make the easy play and extend their lead. But for Greenforest, They did not take and stop playing. They kept playing hard. Once again, for both coaches, there's some things to build on and some positive things there as they both move forward to playing here tomorrow.
All right, well, that's our final from Holy Innocents Gym side of the 2017 Hoopsgiving Holiday Tournament. With the final score, St. Pius 73, Greenforest 52. For my broadcast partner, Lewis, I'm Dwayne. You've been watching Hoopsgiving Holiday Tournament on SUV TV.